It's Strictly Football Podcast, the ultimate Botswana's #1 football value chain conversations platform. It's Strictly Football Podcast. It's 10 for 10 today, mate.
Yeah, big 10, man. Big 10.
10 for 10, my guy. How are you?
No, ke motho wa 13 mara 10.
Shout out to us, man. This is the 10th episode, and we are very, very excited because we are not alone. We are with an interesting fellow here who only takes 5 roses. So there was a special request all the way from Orapa. Nuggets and Amosetenyo. Halasita juicy in the salona. More than 5 roses here, and we are obliged. Botsile Sakana, welcome, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, big shout out.
Mate, yes, Botsile. Botsile.
No.
What is taking them now from Orapa? Remote.
No, first questions first. First season war.
I said the remote is Botsile. Okay.
Let's go.
I don't know if that's how I introduce.
We'll get to know him better as we go on. We just want to know first season war. How was it? Or team more careful, right? So.
Living Gaborone, going to Orapa. Although you grew up in Gaborone, right?
Yeah.
You've never been to that side
Yeah,
until Orapa.
I'm a city boy.
Yeah, city boy. Until recently that you are not. Yeah. I get to Orapa, you visa le renga go
It's a town. Old town.
It's
a town. We call it Old Town.
You go out. So, man, you left Gaborone after a lot of football, Gaborone, after a lot of development, a lot of school, Gaborone, and went to Orapa. I was telling you earlier on, you know, I'm careful, we go 6 North, only more defensing, how did you feel about that?
Like I strongly believe you always have to give credit where it's due.
Okay. Yeah.
So you must also take into consideration Orapa has never been to the CAF group stages. So my first season with Orapa, we managed to go through all the way to the CAF group stages.
Okay.
Shout out. That was a big one.
Big up. Yeah, I had the criticism. How was the experience? Go care for all flight. Listen what you are. It's not. Listen about the group stages. How was the experience, man? Both the negative and the positive side.
No, I think it all goes down to a lot of positives. I can't say we lose a seat 0 and dwell much more into saying we lost seat 0, so it's painful. So to me, it was an experience where it shaped me right from there to a player that I am right now. So a Botsile Sakana that walked into the field against USM Alger. It's not the same Botsile Sakana that left that field after a seat 0 loss.
If you had to tell a kid who's coming up to say, these are 2 things that I picked from that experience, what could it be? Just 2 or 3 things.
There are a lot of things to say. There are a lot of things to say. How can level our football this side? There's a huge difference between us here in Botswana and those guys who are going north. So it goes all the way to a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of discipline. This sport is one of the sports where it has to take a lot from you. And when as a player growing up, you have to be willing to sacrifice and be willing to be criticized. Open that gap for people to criticize you and take it as positive criticism.
Without taking it as an offense.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out, man. I think those are brilliant lessons.
Yeah.
Botsile, you've been in football, man. You've been from all the stages of development, from 13, 15, 17, 23. And most of the time I've seen you because I've seen you all since those days. Not now since I'm bent. You have always been a leader for so long. I don't know. Leadership, people choose it. Were you born with it? Why do you have this element there? Presence and leading. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from home? Is it coming from church? Is it coming from... Tell us that.
I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's natural.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's natural. I think what city farmer I think leaders are born. Yeah. So sometimes when I'm having conversations about I'm a last born kid, well, how about you?
Not a first.
No.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Okay, so something like
That's interesting because, but also, I mean, leadership in our football is difficult. Let's just get right into it, because I mean, you've been a captain, you are one of the vocal voices, I'm sure, more dressing room. So, how is it like? You have your boys there, the team is not necessarily doing well. How do you keep your teams, or what do you say as Botsile, or okay, guys, let's keep going, let's not give up? Okay, it matters. Whatever game matters. Whether okay, we're out of reach, league. Come on, let's keep going. What is your leadership? What is your leadership style? Like, how do you say? How do you say to a fellow defender, put your head up, let's keep going? How do you decide?
No, I think I'm just a simple person. But for each and everyone. You have to use just the simple terms. For you, let's go, we can't lose this game. But those are the words they play a critical role in a player's mind. And mind you, leading a group of players, and understand people are different. Some of them but they are not willing to give you that room. And still, we have to be intelligent enough to understand, even though I'm the leader here, maybe Segisa doesn't want me to be the leader.
You have to give the example,
Hey, I have to give an example. So maybe Segisa doesn't want to be a leader, but still, that hatred towards Segisa. You have to be the bigger guy. You have to be the bigger person.
Mate, talking about leading, I'm not saying you're the captain. Leadership, I'm not talking about somebody.
Exactly, precisely.
We're talking about leadership is, for some people, it's natural. Some are born with it, etc. Yes, have your 5 processes. There's something that he did. I don't know if he remembers, because normally one of the penalties, I think it's when Ottawa's now go up that day, Roberts something like this. Then he came and he picked him up.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. What did you say to him? Did you say something, or it was a moment there?
No, I said,
because I always see you do those things.
Yeah, you have to understand for you to do some of the things, you have to have courage. When you have a keeper like Tabo, a very strong lad, especially when it comes to penalties. So by that time, I consider the penalty. He also needs someone to remind him, you are still a great keeper.
Yeah.
For us to be in the game, we need him at the back. So how you know the ship is sinking. So even if you don't say anything, you have to lift him up and say to him, my man, let's keep moving. Because by that time, that team equalized 2-2. But immediately after lifting him, goal number 3.
Yeah, at least you remember that moment. I was thinking, what if he doesn't remember the moment? No, shout out to you, man. Botsile, there's a gentleman who do Vincent Cecil.
Yeah.
When I met you guys many years back, that was the guy who was at the helm of development there.
Apparel.
Yes. I'm not sure whether he's still coaching or not. How important was his role in your development?
He played a very vital role. I think I met Vincent when I was 14, 15. Yeah, and by that time, I think I was playing as a defensive midfielder or something. But also, I cover each and every position where the relevant can.
Hence the name General.
Yeah. Sometimes I would start the game at the back. I got a rush, I would go forward and maybe score the winning goal, then go again at the back. So I think he's one guy because of what he has contributed in my career when I go Police 11. He's an honest guy. As much as I loved or at some point I would want to be wearing the police 11 colors, the senior team. He made sure umponsa lesedi hale of which somehow I ended up not representing that team. Maybe it's because of some of the things that he said to me.
So okay, before you come in, man, tell me something about there are a number of players. At least Maila played at least the season or so.
Yeah.
The kid who say there are a lot of you guys who were developed by police but never played for police or never played an important role in police. To a point that he like game. And then the conversation was about police that should actually have made police a big team.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and what do you think really went wrong?
Yeah, I think but the police they had fantastic players with development. But my issue has always been Malaita were good. How am I to take a player for 2 years? After 2 years, that player he did ready. So that thing worries. That's why I never wanted to go there. After I guess now experience I go there. But all in all, we had Paja Chos, Olena Maila.
Many of you guys.
They were Wakana Colagano, Mudiritela,
Yes, I was thinking of Mudiritela. Spanish. Mungai.
The best player ever in
I
our
was thinking about Mungai when I said last. He went to last, then, yeah, whatever.
a lot of players, one and Yalamudikimbo, Bogilbert Baruti.
Yeah.
Can you play the police 11?
Okay. So, police is solid.
Very solid. Of which I'd want to believe had they done things right. They gave one of the leading teams right now.
Let's hope they do things right. They are back.
No, they will do things right. No, but also the issue with these teams, you can realize from the kind of players when about development that police or the DNA, the senior team and the development. And it's very important to have a bridge. Me, to go police development. Player developing. How do we transition them into the senior team? Because if the identities are not the same, or kind of development, the head of development or coach development, the senior coach work hand in hand because so that because if they're not close, you're going to find this situation where players that are very developed, are well developed, but because identity the senior team, and that is always a sad case with a lot of teams that transition. So it's something that maybe we keep talking about, we look at and we say, okay, how then do we as a team go back? Police 11 is back, probably about to say that development again. How do we do things right? By looking at players like this, while Orapa developing well, not just developing in terms of the field of play. This is an ideal player.
This leadership skills, because a lot of guys who are leaders.
And I understand he's well disciplined.
Yes. I don't know.
I understand. Well disciplined. I mean, for a player who doesn't drink, it's very difficult to find. Those other drinks in our locals.
It's something to break.
But how easy or difficult is it?
For me, it's easy. Yeah.
Peer pressure block 6. I don't know what you have at Orapa.
To them, one of the way I am. To me, I think that's one special thing about me. I take pride in how I am. For me, Sakana, it's something it's possible to be where I am without even drinking. So
I've never taken even a single.
I've never taken even a single.
That must have been hard. And you grew up in the city.
And I grew up in the city, in the heart of the city.
In the heart of the city.
In the heart of the city. Well, what we are sure one highlighting, you is going to succumb to peer pressure, but I've never succumbed to peer pressure.
And obviously, almost all the guys who are your peers, most of them do have some fun.
No, besides peers, my brothers. Hey, my brothers are happy they can go out, but we teach about Malaping.
No, that we do the movie.
Hey, the we get like TikTok, I see what about like a
Oh, okay. No, he's disciplined.
He's disciplined. He's disciplined.
He should be my young brother.
Very disciplined.
Even look at Nante, I don't Brian. Even I said, I get our
He told me that he's drastically reduced because Honna wale mona tela mona
Eh, go nna go le monate mo lapeng. Ha ke tsena na kgala teng so wena mona ka diteng gona na go nwa teng.
na mole mona te. You know what? I have a problem.
Bona go jela heditse mash.
Gattuso, I have a problem. Kana go ha mo seteng ya le 3 ya na le oi. Ke nna ke ra ke mante. O re benne te. Ba benne te. Te to ke one a etang episode 10.
My friend, it had to come.
Ene ke fila gore etele ruri. Ke go ba before tsama banna ba o ba hele go la gore te ya go.
No, gore etele re go le nna ke te go bapaleng ena.
Ta tla ga. So Botsile, we see you wa go St. Joe.
Yeah.
Wow, it's go St. Joe. Do you want to share anything about St. Joe? I know St. Joe is a very strict school. Or it used to be, I don't know. But also this school is no raro thing santoro o bale to ta ore more
It's a mission school, I think.
Yeah. So take us through your St. Joe.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's like I've always been a football lover.
Yeah.
From way back, I've always kizwakala ke le ball. So the talk around the street nail or I got and I was saying Joe. Somewhere somehow ball aka ya well up morago. But I'm one person who I love proving people wrong and showing people whatever saying what last and I can do it. Because can I go say you know do 5 p.m.
Training is
I get train now bro, just train is like a 4. So immediately I
Kana 5 for away mel.
I figure siren la.
So how is we mel?
I see mel. Eta mere zika 5. Automatically la ta 5 ke sere be ke ana ke me zore le be ke.
Santo rusiele ka go train.
Be ke ta bana go training.
So tsana ka bona kwa mang.
Man ke tsana go nna le yana ne ke train about 30 minutes. Ha ke heta mo stationing ko re le batho ne ba eta ba ibuzera ka ntwana o nna ta bo se kae. Like every day I get a stationing at train.
But you were consistent with it.
I was consistent.
So when out the St. Joe, did it affect you? Yes.
It didn't affect me.
You knew that you are one or the other you were going to pull it out.
I'm going to make it. Because I cannot really like I made it to the national team. You know, St. Joe. Hey.
Yeah, I remember those times. And even there, I think you kept trying. I didn't know some game meeting. I think you were St. Joe.
Hey, you were St. Joe. And the funny part was the day you decided on one national team. Keys, I don't think that's select when keys. Okay, take us through that experience. Come on, we royal. No one. So, number I think nobody say. I think nobody can be under 17 or one. So I was not in the list. But Malaiti ba ne le captain wa mo police bo Maila bo Pedro bo Paja they were in the list.
What is that
Malaiti ba ilong gore
they're under your leadership.
They are under my leadership and they rely on me.
You are thinking Jan to ta no
ba mo campaign ka Friday ba le ba nantse ba re kana Gattuso gayo. So Senjo no na Saturday start. It was compulsory. I was at the Saturday studying Monday wa beso.
Ke mon ka lo file midweek.
Ene mola to Saturday study go no heta wa midweek. So Saturday hala ke tsiki pa kanya phakela ke le dwa ke love more for top stars. On targa tso go ka ke mara ke ipatanya ke sekolo. Ara etemon. Hona le campaign kwa mona. Tsama we campaign.
Love mo ya di.
Ora ke love mo ga di wa re la
Ta bona di o tsebe ya ke.
Iso tsama. Ebe ke bile ke apola uniform ga na ile gore a ke re ne rona re na le di phone so no tsena mo Facebook o phakela before was get. Ebe ke apola uniform be ke tsama ke tsena ga ke tsena go itlhela gona le coach day ka gona le Tebza Mokute e Pauline Msengi. Ha ke tsena re ke bota ke a go te. Man, I think that was one of the most difficult decisions that I ever took in my life. We did some campaign. And I was saying,
and the most important as well.
And the most important.
Yeah.
Can I get an agitala Malaiti by Leban's heart, Sabaj, or Gulabano Popota, maybe Romeo Tales and I was. And I gonna go Tebza Mokute. Get any that I was challenge of blend. When no mamma never wrote
so the whole house is
hey, yeah, no one day, but the battle in listing.
And now I can listing.
But I was very confident. Get to tell the Gamma, no dinner Carlo listing. But I don't know I'm going to get to trial. they cover are mfana rutlo trailer mfana rutlo trailer
ka sejosenyana
yene ngwenya
Coach to me, Leika.
lo rutsa ka mo ke mara no ne ke le ditso ke coach love more is US e be go te e kwa le hatase what's our breakfast.
So you took a gamble and you took,
Yeah, I took a gamble, and that was the story.
So how important was that period in your turn into your professional life or into?
Like that period going in position where I can be somewhere in football. But I've always believed what I'm going somewhere in football, but somehow. Remember the year before, we can try it.
Yeah, this time around you had
When I was under 17.
Yes.
And this time around, the happened against a BT, but they keys.
What's it?
Upon a week, less than a week, I was appointed the captain.
I told you this man is a leader. So
The funny part what I get said, Obama Bazar sama ka haka yawa. So gara tips like gara no ki sipara. Ka wono ka no gara masam ra sipara. E mo hani ka mun.
Kawari, you are suspecting you are going to choose advanced positions in it. When you want to Jamal, I want to watch.
No, mo saying hela teminulu ja sipara hai.
Oh.
Wa wa gara ki sipara. Gara sipara kana ki do tsa bogolo golo santse go tshameka bodika. O sho ngwana ke mara ke no ki sipara.
Have you been questioned about your age more often?
Yeah, countless times wherever I go.
Or why do you think people
I don't
don't agree you're just a young kid?
But last time I was at Liverpool United, there was this other guy, one of the assistant. I don't know what I was on channel one boss about it. I said, "Why did I know?" I'm 24. But I would have. I keep on about 85 here. And like, what I don't want to go to the only give I don't can me. So, but since the guy accepted,
From my end, I think it's because of the conduct.
yeah.
Normally how you behave, because people expect the younger people to behave
To be
in a particular way. And when you are behaving in a way that you are more reserved, you are aware of environment. Obviously, that's just a whole. That's what you always say.
It's my sure because we expect these youngsters to be maspring bokonyana.
Yeah. So it's not something that it's something that you should also add into the list. It should not be something that you say unless you're So we see you, Utanamo, where you be. Man, let me tell you what this guy did. No, he will tell his story. We see you, Utanamo, you be to go and pursue supply chain.
Yeah.
Take us through your UB experience. And also how you had to sacrifice for football. We used to fight a lot, if you remember.
No. The university was, I would say, an experience of a lifetime. And for the next generation, by the way, they also want to be players. If at all they are capable academically, they must make sure that they capitalize and go there and get their degrees. For the Labasa, they must have a better plan. Because football on its own is a very short career. Also, highly reliable. You never know when the injury is coming. The circumstances are this one. I might be here today sitting alone. I have dreams to go to Morocco in December. I just stay so you never know. No, before we go there.
We're not going anywhere. No, I'm just saying to men. We have this question we ask people. We ask each other people that, is he going? So we love the fact that you answered before.
I'm way ahead of you.
Yes, we know. We understand that.
So, University of Botswana, given the chance, I'll go back again for my masters. You know what? I always tell you. Yeah. I've also proven also to people by where they were. More Premier League. I will pass and get a degree, still playing in the league. So when I balance and I think I got my Premier League debut, I think I was doing my first year. And it's very funny how the debut came about. ne ke le mo classeng ya di-accounts.
No, tell us the story. We want to know. We want to know.
Mosadi o la diega brao.
Idea ya go ira.
A ruta.
Ka nako ya gago ka lesson ya gago ke. A ira tiro ya go
a ira tiro ya gago.
Okay.
No, ha ke mo tshepho.
Okay. But mo go wena idea.
Hey, that lady was doing her job. Wa bona. Ene kana go le ka rena dupella gore mthaka o has to go somewhere. Wa bona. So mosadi o la ntsa ruta.
You are at Gilport.
I'm at Gilport.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember at Gilport ke tsene I think window is out. So I trained Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we get another 20-man squadding for the Wednesday game against PDF. Kana was a camp. So already Wednesday, Gattuso match day.
We're not a lesson.
Just get like an lesson. So get a market someone.
Was that the zero banka lesson?
Ke tsama ke as gela ke ta ke tsana go se gela ke iketla ke ja lesson but ha e cha pastwane e cha ile gana ke me ke sitse ko mo lepole meeting ke 2 which west lesson am sa dule tswa ga 2 ke mo lebile hela ja 20 minutes a ja 20 minutes a ile kgante wa go itse go bo 12 ne ke nna go mora ke kgante ebe ke tsa ke hologa ba mpolela ke itasa ke tsamaya ke laetse mothako mo ne ke bapalene ke mara ke ngwana
na taintsana
me ta ke go leka
so the lecture is being at you what ya
so sa lo ntibile wa ipotsa gore
a ke a jesa le go
gore mothaka wa kae a ne be ke ikgoga hela ke va and I think I got a dream debut man.
So how was the next day? High school, I was why you know some classes?
I get why is it where you begin to die born it. Hey,
and how easy was it to me to the max go pass tota and everything. Kana no hetara ka manda school ka ro dilo ke bo.
Ne ke sa hetela manda school mo rena ye ke graduate la GPA go di. Hey, so Oscar.
Man, I'm just asking. Why is this? It's not playing the ball, it's playing the man. No, he's there.
Key defender.
Why is that I always play the man? I always play
the man and the ball.
Hey, I always play the man and the ball.
No, like kids on the private life. Yeah, no platform.
So then also I've never been Motamado at school. Hey, but also I've never been Motawa. But 90 something, I always got around 70 to 85, 90 sometimes, 95 there. So even like Sabal, I'm sure what I'm guaranteed 70%. That's how smart I am.
So tell me, how difficult is it when you are now taking that kind of experience and that kind of qualification into the field or into football? Because it's a different industry altogether. How is the reception? How is the one swap? You are going to a field there over Hanti,
I am a
this girl, sharp. Even though I know we have a few guys
here and there.
With my bunda na hesa go Botsile all over and this. He's trying to get back into the Premier League. There are a few guys I think also tell so how easy or difficult is it to gel or to merge those two kind of different elements into no,
like it's very difficult. But from a player's perspective, because the player most of the time already they are more obsessed about playing. So it becomes a challenge for the coaching staff or just any other administration people. So it's sometimes how we contribute or lateral.
So now, what you're saying is that how when you come there, I mean, getting talk home, so because they know how we tell your first question, degree. So whatever I say, it might be taken out in the wrong context. I don't know why.
It does limit you at some point.
It does limit you at some point.
So when at some point you just have to bring yourself to the level. Yeah.
It's acceptable.
It's acceptable kind of thing, which is wrong.
Because you're not being yourself.
You're not being yourself.
And you're not utilizing something that God has given you.
when I want to do.
So you never use that.
I never used it. Hey, to some people, while on what I'm they don't even know what I can do. Because now I get level the qualification is as gala, that I do want to go or teach a holiday. While mobile has already applied.
True. So, tell me about quality. Here's a student who tell me when you be when I qualification and somebody say one. Akabonati. And gets X amount of money, right? But this kid will go Gilport. At some point, the guy will go no buy. Forget. Call up him bar or no. The post the keys.
No, like, now I've always convinced my parents or whatever that I'm doing is right.
Okay.
But then I want to give my 60s. But
I know the mom.
Give my 60s, but I've always convinced them what a teleke is the right way.
Okay.
Wow. Maybe how but convince you like end product. That's what it's dira. So how to dira selo? I say it's a flop. Until I know what I did on Nantara, this is not good. This is where I know so my mom knows. Let him go up and buy his already. Late to as much as I late to kill it. He wants to go somewhere to ball. Wow. And it has always been evident, even late. Sakana and get like a cherry, get like a pandilla this king. Melkona, whether I get like a can baby get again, a little here. Sorrow one over we and never bolo can and a little leader of Honor me, one I get Lin Hanka Monella support somewhere, what la home. Wow. And I think I had a situation, Harris now for relegate a guild poet. No, we have to be honest. Come on, man. I can't say it. Oh, man. When are you? When I'm so long, you have to be. You have to be accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. One one. Guess I had a little bit now relegate. I relegate these.
They play the role.
And Botsile Sakana, Nagili Botsile Sakana, I've played a huge role in relegate Gilport because I've played all the games. It's a Gilport that season. I've played every minute. I've never been substituted. I've never came in as SSR. So,
main character. So, yeah, you can continue.
How the Gillis is now? I get on the Gillis read the guy when the money. I don't know what the Gillis or can I get transition to finally? But has now automatically better Tamara, Crossoff, senior team. So we went there to Crossoff, I made a territory. Played final, silver, played final. So Haraswada, I get some finally. I had an offer from Police 11.
Okay.
You had a chance to go there.
Before you continue, there were rumors about rollers as well.
I had an offer from Rollers.
Okay, yeah.
Remember how I went to Gilport? I was supposed to go to Rollers.
Yes. You said no to so huge offers for a team that is this one. But continue, it's a story to share. It's not mine.
How gets a more final year? So all the policy that constantly calling because I get never to get what's a Gilport because I'm leaking. Even like a jam measure with Gilport. And I go police in the Kesa, Negasa to me or I'm now I get that no. So because Linton and Lisa 10. So I get a Nagasabura Gilport. So I has never relegated but since Gilport delegated, this is the time to take business on board. But I never entertained that off because countless times we've had several meetings, and one of the meetings they came to a conclusion.
Because somebody is ever labeled you.
Yeah, they did.
What transpired? What did you say?
Man.
Or do. Or didn't do. Can I didn't sign? Then what
no, I didn't say. One guy how no brown. No. Musha no high lord have the team arona abu. Because Canada were 7. Nelma police by 7. And I was alone, below 1. Wow.
You want meeting?
You want meeting? And by that time, not a representative, I'm representing myself. I think I was 19 or somewhere there. So, but I get the team, get the police, get the sign. So I told them, no, Lahalaka tisa 100,000, Lahalaka tisa boka. Money will not convince me to join team again. So, get sharp.
Yeah, that's the team that developed you.
Yeah, that's the team that developed me. And
so they feel betrayed.
Hey, only do span
Yeah, also that.
So when I find out I'm always against that issue. No, not sharp. The halagat is 100, the halagat is sabotana. Sharp agents. But when I don't want you, le sharp, then like a sharp one. And by that time, guess what we are waiting.
Share your story.
So I became one but you know what I do.
Share your story. That's the story.
But I think
we always had an issue about this to say because people didn't know, and a lot of people thought that's what we get for but some of us who are very close to him, we knew there were a lot of offers. We knew that Naira finally there was so much going on, and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna take this offer so that I don't have too much pressure.
But also you need
and that was for me that was a brilliant move, but a risky move.
Very risky one.
You need to put into consideration part of the decisions that he was making. This was a young player who prioritized playing over belonging to a team. Do you understand? That is one thing we always say. It's one thing to move team X, how we forget you even exist. True. After
2-3 years, you are no longer a player.
You're no longer a player.
Just a shadow of yourself.
For me, I think that was a job well done on his part.
So did you sleep with me on the first day?
Did I?
Sleep well. I could be it
was very difficult because by that time I was doing some letter le lone. So Malaitia ke but some about
I remember the idea.
And by that time Malaitia haba announce your corolas. Na Mafa is constantly calling me gore. That I can share contract. That aside. And I'm telling the guy, I can't sign the contract because I'm on my final year.
So it sounds like
either way, it's going to disturb me. I want her, no, I don't feel worry. What a pre-contract. I don't know, I can't take a pre-contract.
Well, no, let's not bind this up.
Let's not bind this
up. Like the school.
If at all there is something to talk about, after
Orapa. Now it's the time.
No, because I think how long it's also was there before not only to relegate.
And remember, Ghana is a player coming from Premier League. National team.
First division. Okay, so now let's talk about the move to Orapa. What transpired? You've lived in Gabs all your life. You offer anything, no Gabs. There is no shortage of offers. You could stay in your comfort zone but you decide, you know what, I'm going 600 kilometers away, Orapa. What was the motive behind that, and what was it like hell outside in a new environment?
One thing that say long worry, I would like to advise city player or DCL talk. I was on a level Movatum Bailam or about so Motel or about something to level energy and follow that energy and study the energy. One sort. So Motomo Robata or Masalamara, Mele and Robata. But Omu super, even Lemadura or no, Helore Masitoka. We will meet each other halfway. So, of the offers that I had, Orapa they were convincing. Because Ghana, remember, I was having 1 year before Masita dissolved. And by that time, I get red large was so other guys never let's 1 year. So other guys they were saying no, let's 1 year Masita.
Then we were Botsile free.
Be re Botsile free. Kana ba re tla bua ka January go sign a pre-contract. So other than what the mapele ke santse ke tabogile ke tla ke bua le wena, but those guys bonnet they have always been straight. Gore my guy, you are coming to what date?
We'll make this happen.
We'll make this happen. Wow. Even though it wasn't easy, but they did make it happen.
Are you happy?
I'm more than happy.
Okay.
I don't want to lie. Like I'm happy to Orapa, and also I'm more than happy ka growth as a player. Looking into the fact that Orapa, I managed to play CAF Champions, Confederations Cup group stages, and also break the national teaming, AFCON qualifiers, qualifiers as a Brazil. Even though
No, you did. You did. No, you played an important role.
Hey, wow, I was the lead senior inside the dressing room. Wow.
You played an important role, and I know that. The national team, I put a post over Karen. You are no longer just a backup to someone on the national team.
Yeah.
You're actually a contender. So do you agree with that post? And it's my opinion, and you have no comment. Do you think you are a backup, or you think by now you are a contender? Okay, you can.
I think before we go there,
as
the player, cannot turn to player where is his headed. Can players Malo speaking to a certain player after FA Cup final, more than a worry. Me, I could tell from his language, Hore, Monoha is a dumel, get only Botsile, Gattuso, worrying, Kosafa is in 6 months, AFCON is in 6 months. Do you consider yourself a backup? Do you see yourself there? And also, what do you have in the pipeline? Or okay, as a player, this is how I'm going to get there. Because how pick you hella for your name, you need to put your hand up there. Or I'm going to pili. Why you want to hurry up?
Was not take a take.
But the bigger question is, can you help the nation?
Answer your question.
Answer your question.
No, I believe I'm capable of helping the nation. More than capable. I'm more than capable of helping the nation. And also, we shouldn't just do the talking. Yeah, we have to go back to the drawing board and make sure we work very hard. There's
life after AFCON.
There's life
before AFCON.
There's life before AFCON, and also there's life after AFCON. If at all priority are not AFCON, we will get the ticket to AFCON. And we passengers go AFCON.
Then we will December, so it's already playing after that.
Exactly.
Shout out to YAMA WEAR for being a very, very important strategic partner for this. I expect a lot of goodies from YAMA, bro.
Exactly.
Shout out to YAMA, man, for putting together some nice outfit for Batswana ko high. Check out the flyer below. Botsile, thank you so much. I